Hello and welcome back to my channel. You're at Kim's Cozy Corner and I'm Kim, and I am trying to quickly put some plants in the ground. I have tomato plants here and I want to transplant them in. I have about an hour before I have other obligations, so I want to try to get this done as quickly as possible. I'm not going to do a lot of talking, but I figured I could just bring you along. I will let you know that the only tomatoes I'm putting in this over here in my neighbor's garden, they're all dwarf tomatoes, all different kinds, all different varieties. I spent several hours working in the garden over here trying to make sure that I had everything planted in the order in which I really wanted it to be. I tried to put all of my tomatoes along adjacent sides and put squash plants in the center of the bed. Squash plants need about 3 square feet so they have room to grow. So that left the center of all of my beds open to put different varieties of squash in. Okay, I'm just going to continue working over here in the garden. I never really talked a lot about the beds in this space. In this garden space, there are 10 4x4 beds, and then there are 3 2x4 beds. I'm roughly using this square foot garden method. So pretty much these are very large plants. You get 1 large plant per square foot, except for squash. And in all of these beds here, the only thing that I'm planting in these beds are tomato plants, pepper plants, and squash. That's all that's going in these beds. There are 3 4x4 beds. On the back side, I'm going to put climbing vegetables. So I'm going to have cucumbers and winter squash climbing the back side of these beds here. So we will get these vegetables in. I'm not going to talk a lot, but I'm just going to go ahead and get some work done, and I'll let you come with me. This is the side of the garden that I talked about where I will have trellising vegetables. The bed I'm currently working on will have winter squash in it. The bed just next to that will have cucumbers, as will the bed all the way on the end on the corner. So I'm putting winter squash in this one here. I have 3 different kinds of winter squash that's going in here. I have this Chinese winter squash. I just put YUX. It's a very long Chinese name, but I grew it last year. I grew it kind of late from seed, and it took forever for it to take off. So we only harvested 1 fruit last year just because it just took for the seeds to germinate and for it to take off. This year I'm doing transplants, so I'm hoping that'll kind of speed up the pace on it taking off and giving us fruit. So I have 1 of those. I have 1 buttercup, which is supposed to taste like sweet potatoes. I couldn't tell you because I didn't get any last year. Same situation. And then actually that's 2 buttercups. What did I do? Okay, I've messed up. I got 2 buttercups, so I'm gonna have to take a look and see what's not supposed to be here. After looking around, I never was able to find the 3rd winter squash to put in this bed, but what's new? I'm constantly losing my vegetables. I went ahead and planted all the squash in this bed, and then I moved over to the cucumber bed and got the cucumbers in, and then I had a few peppers that I also wanted to get in, put into the beds. I only planted sweet peppers in my neighbor's garden, and the seeds were actually his seeds that he harvested back in 2013, which had an excellent germination rate. This bed is finished. I ended up with 5 tomato plants and 1 green patty pan in this bed. These are all extra tomatoes, so it's not like I'm expecting a huge harvest. If we don't get enough sun over here, that's okay too. We're well over 100 and we're already at over 100 plants in the ground. So everything else is just extra. I'm going to keep planting. I have plants, so we're going to just keep putting them in the ground. But we're over 100. We're over the 106 spots that we talked about, but I'm finding room for more. All right, I'm going to call it quits for today. I've been working pretty hard in the garden, and so we're going to call it a day in my neighbor's garden. I have plants in almost every bed. It's not 100% done, but we're getting close to it being 100% done. Let me turn around and show you our work. So there's one bed with nothing in it, and then I have tomatoes and squash and cucumbers and winter squash, summer squash, green squash, yellow squash, in all of these beds here. Peppers, I can't forget the peppers. There's onion already out here, and then I've added quite a few other things to this space. But I just want you to see it holistically. Let me do a 360 around the garden so you can kind of just see how it's doing. That's it for transplanting in my neighbor's garden. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel. We are less than 100 subscribers away. We will get there with your help. Thanks again. Have a wonderful, blessed day, and I'll see you back here again real soon. Bye.